After making the original Kirby's from the last video, I felt that there was one I needed to make. That, of course, being Rock Kirby. So I decided to make it. I start with the same process as the last video in the iCard, which is to just pinch out some arms, roll the center into a ball, and then refine the shape of the arms into the proper shape in the proper position. Once these arms are rolled out to the proper space, I do have to push them inwards a little bit to make sure that they're in the right size, and I make the two little feet, I guess. The legs. Call them legs. These legs get attached on the outside of the hands, me having the hands in between the legs, and then I just put a dot as the mouth, two big black eyes, and then I fill that with two crescent-shaped blue dots and large white eyes. Well, large white pupils, not eyes. The whole things are eyes. After I have that, I can start working on Kirby's cool hat, which is just a bunch of rocks. I just get some dark brown clay and cut it up into a bunch of little pieces, and then cut them out into like little cylinders. And I just place a bunch of them right on top of the head. Once I place all of them on top of the head in a circular pattern, making sure that the entire top of the head gets put on, I can make sure that the shape is refined and add all of the little gem rocks on the front, starting with the orange one, then the two magenta pinkish ones, I guess, and then the two purple ones, all of them in decreasing size. After I do this, I can get two dark blue circles and place them on either side of the purple gem, well, either side of the little gem rock thingies, and then attach some horns. These horns have a slightly upwards curvature, which gets copied over to both of them, making them look practically the same, just mirrored, and once it's done, it's done. After I do this, I can just get some slightly lighter pink and squish it into a rectangle. Then just start chopping it up until it looks all cool and like a rock. Once it looks kind of like a rock, I just get all the little scrap pieces and add two thin black worms as eyes. These eyes go in a crescent pattern, similar to how the blue of the eyes were originally made, and it's done. Next up, we have the 8-pound dumbbell thingy. I don't know, look cool. It's just a cylinder that's slightly tapered off, and then a little worm on the top as a handle, which gets blended into the bottom part. Once this is all blended in, the shape gets refined, and since the shape is refined, it's mostly done. All it needs is some pizzazz. Now that the shape's all good, I can pizzazz it up with an 8 and a T for 8 ton, which I now remember that it is. I start by just making the two things out of worms, cutting them to make sure that they all fit the proper area, and once it all fits the proper area and is the correct shape, I just blend all of the white into the white to make all of the lines look as smooth as possible. Once all of the white lines are placed on it, it's done, and I can start working on what is the Kirby Spike Ball. This is rather simple. It's just a black sphere with a bunch of spikes. However, what this truly represents is still currently unknown, and I'm not going to help with that. It has a lot of spikes, though. 7 on the front, 7 on the back. I made the entire middle section of it have spikes because, well, you could see that the top part didn't, but you couldn't really see that for the sides. So I just placed on a bunch of spikes, doing this as quick as possible because I'm just placing a bunch of stuff, and it's not that exciting. And with that, it's done. Now that that's done, I can make some gray clay, and this is for Metal Kirby, which is not a type of rock Kirby or its ability, but I thought fit the criteria enough. This is basically just the same as the original rock Kirby, and just, made to be a good size. I also kind of have it a little bit pushed upwards in the middle of the body because that was kind of shown in the middle design. Then I split the gray into two different balls, which I designed for the feet, which are actually fairly large in this. Then I have it sit down and push in a mouth because it had the same look. Then do the same black eyes as before, which is just two pretty flattened big worms, the blue crescent shapes. And then after that, the big white pupils that help to tie the eye all together. After I have this done, I can place the still bright pink on this for some reason, blush marks. And with that, this is done, and since that's done, everything is done. If you like the video, make sure to give it a like. If you want to see more, like it, subscribe, and don't be like Kirby. 4 is probably wrong. And definitely illegal.